Oh, buddy, Andy here again. Well, last year I made a video in which I mentioned about what people think about people really, and it came about because at the funerals that I've been going to, whether they be relatives' funerals or whether they be people that I knew, musicians, etc., we had a series of funerals that I happened to go to, unfortunately. I remember making the point that it seemed that you only tended to learn about someone, really, what people really thought about them, or even aspects of their life, at their funeral, which is very, very unfortunate. I remember my father's funeral, and I did a little speech and did some history, sort of research into his life, whether it be his war service or things like that. And that even my mother wasn't aware of some of the things that I knew because I'd spoken to my father about and relayed on that particular day. And so you can imagine that other people didn't think the same thing. And I just felt that it was a great pity that other people, especially the person unfortunately who's died, doesn't know what people really think about them. That outpouring of grief, obviously, and it's only the good things that you hear about. But why not? Let's celebrate the good things. And I just felt that it was a pity that we normally don't find that sort of thing out as we go about it, go about our lives. But it happened to me recently. It's one of those times when I actually found out what somebody felt about me, what somebody thought about me, how it came about. Next year's the London Olympics 2012 and all that type of thing, and they announced that the Olympic torch on its sort of relay throughout England is actually going to come through Hastings. I believe it's the 17th of July next year, very close to the actual start of the games themselves. And they needed people to be volunteered or nominated, shall we say, to be torchbearers. You know, the old people running around with the torch, etc. Yes, a lot of it's been taken over by corporate sponsorship, and the majority of the places will be taken through the sponsorship corporate side of things. But a certain amount of people will be, you know, the ordinary man on the street or the woman on the street type of thing, and people can nominate them. Someone contacted me, a friend of mine, contacted me and said, I'd like to nominate you, Andy. And apart from the fact that I was rather taken aback, I automatically assumed that it was going to be to do with sort of local music and my involvement with local music. It happened during Hastings Rock being broadcast as well. Obviously, I'm involved with the local music. You know, if you've seen any of my videos, you know about that. I was doing a radio show which was very well received, playing local music. This person has got an involvement with local music. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to talk about what the person said. That's not fair on anybody. But I just presumed that. So the person, I gave them my authority. They needed to get some details, so they actually sent me the text of what they had written, and they're only allowed to put 150 words or something like that. And they put in there something along the lines of, just please check this for any inaccuracies, you know, and just take what it says here. You know, you're not allowed to change this in any way. For once, just take what people say about you, or really think about you like a man, or something along those lines. I read what the person had written, and I was completely blown away. Yes, it mentioned some of the aspects of local music, but there was far more to it than that, and I was shocked. Yes, I was. You know, I thought, well, hang on a minute. You know, that old thing. Are they talking about you? And I'm not trying to sort of blow my own trumpet here and just say, well, this person thought I was wonderful and all that. But it was just, it's the same for so many other people. How many people do you know you would probably say exactly the same about, or very close related things to what this person said about me? But you never tell them. They never get to find that out, because you just don't do that type of thing in normal life, do you? We always wait until that person's died or something, and then we happen to pour all that out, and everybody gets together, and maybe you sort of get together and you find out exactly what everybody feels about someone. I've done it myself, and you know, someone dies and you don't say it to their face, but then you start talking to other people. Oh, I thought he was wonderful, he should have done this, he should have been awarded for that, you know, what should have got recognition for this type of thing or that type of thing. Since then, I've had a couple of other sort of things that have happened to me as well, which suggested, you know, that people being quite complimentary, and it certainly makes you feel good. Now, as I said, this is probably the same for lots of people. I'm by no means unique in this at all. I'm just one of the lucky people who's actually found that out, who's actually found out what somebody does think about you. It made me look at that other person in a slightly different way now, because now I really know what that person thinks. and it makes you feel a bit strange, I must admit. But it's a nice feeling. It is nice to know. It is always nice to get a pat on the back from somebody. It's always nice for someone to say good things about. Yes, I'm sure that that's only one person. There's probably lots of people out there who feel completely the opposite and that type of thing as well. But that's all far outweighed by the good things that you get, and that's the same in life, isn't it? You can get as much criticism as you like, but it just takes one person to say something good to you, and it makes you feel so much better. So maybe the lesson of this is that if you can, and it's not easy to do this sometimes, I'm sure this person would never have said that to my face, and if this had never came up, this Olympic torch relay had never come up, I never would have found this out. That person would never have said that to me, and I totally understand why, because it probably made them feel a little bit uncomfortable as well, having to put this into it, but it was their choice, I suppose. The fact that they did it in the first place. But if it doesn't go any further, even if they nominated you, just the fact that somebody feels that they should nominate you should make you feel good. And then to get the text as well, just as like the icing on the cake, I suppose. So if you get a chance to do that for someone, do it. And if you get the chance to say something to somebody, maybe you should do that as well. Maybe I should think about that. And if we did that a bit more, it makes people feel a bit better, because we all go through life doing stuff, don't we? And yes, we're quite happy to go on and do all the little things we do, but it is nice to get that little pat on the back, that little bit of recognition. Everybody feels the same. We all like to have our ego stroked every so often, don't we? It does make things worthwhile, a bit like has happened with Hastings Rock and the end of Hastings Rock, and the great comments that people have sent in. I was reading some out on air last week. Yes, of course you're going to read out the good stuff, but why not? Because at least those people are actually enjoying what you're doing, appreciating what you're doing, and as one of our DJs said, it's made him stay for at least one more year because of the reaction that people have given. There you go. See, say something good about someone, give them the feedback and the appreciation that they deserve, and that's the sort of thing that can happen. They carry on doing the job that they want to do in the first place, and you like them to do. So there you go. If you've got a person you think you should nominate for something, or even just go and buy them a beer and say, well done for doing that, or thanks for doing that, shake them by the hand, or something like that. It'll make them feel better. Probably that make you feel a lot better as well, knowing that you've done your little good deed for the day. Anyway, thanks for your time. Thanks for that person. You know who you are. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.